Hello everybody, welcome to United Stand, welcome to the first road trip of the season. We are going to mix it up like we did towards the back end of last season. A few different venues beforehand, different stadiums. We'll be filming from services. As you know, we're going to be at every single game this season, covering everything. And we're going to do the build-up the same way in these pre-match sort of prediction / road trip videos that we're doing now. It's all changed, but one thing that hasn't changed is the United's team. It seems like we're going through the biggest rebuild in Man United's history, and tomorrow when we play Brighton here at Old Trafford, it's going to be exactly the same team pretty much that finished last season. Who'd have thought, after all the rumours, everything that's gone on with the club and the so-called rebuild that was supposed to be Ten Hag, everyone backing Ten Hag, the club getting behind him, money spent as it has been before with new managers, and when we've fallen out of the Champions League, the midfield tomorrow is going to be McFred. I'm going to open with that. That's what everyone's talking about. It is going to be that. And the midfield area is what everyone is talking about, and why this team has struggled over the last few years, and why, to be honest, from people that I've spoken to and everyone in conversation about United, is why we're all sort of fearing what's going to come this season. There's the excitement of a new season, obviously, but there's that sort of fear factor of what is to come, because we know what this team is. I personally, been on tour with United all summer, as you've seen, I've seen improvements within the players. But like I've said all the way through pre-season, that has been when there's been no pressure on. That has been when everyone's away, the atmosphere is nice and calm, everyone's just getting used to it, the new manager bounced, everyone's happy. It just seemed, like I said, as it went on and on and on and we got closer to this day, the pressure started to build and build and build. And I think that came through with Erik Ten Hag in his press conference yesterday. It was a bit frosty, a lot different to what it was in pre-season. His first ever Premier League post-match press conference, press conference, and you could see it in the way he was talking yesterday, the way he came into the press conference. He knew what was coming, he knew the questions that were going to be asked, he knew the topics, and he seemed ready for it. He seemed to have bite in his voice, seemed to have bite in his answers, and it's come to a stage now where it's like the frustrations of everyone asking what's going on at the club. It's not Ten Hag's fault. Everything above him is what's at fault with this football club right now. We've seen plenty of improvement over pre-season with Ten Hag, but ultimately the questions can only be asked to him. He's the one who has to face everything. He's the one who has to front the football club and what's going on upstairs. And I think the shock of being Manchester United manager and everything that comes with it and the expectation is finally hitting home. And he's gonna, like I said, it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get used to it himself. All he can do, and all he probably wants to do, is just get on the training ground, work with his team and do that. But you know what comes with Manchester United. You know the pressures that come, the press conferences, like we said, the journalists, the media wanting to know exactly what is happening. And obviously the big stories are all around United. The young Ronaldo, he's had to deal with all of that. There is a rumour, well, it's not so much a rumour, there is a reality that Ronaldo could actually be starting the game tomorrow. Would not be surprised, I'll be honest. The way that Ten Hag was talking in his press conference yesterday, sort of trying to move away from Ronaldo is fully to blame, trying to make it a group sort of issue from the Vallecano friendly where players left early. It wasn't just Ronaldo, he said. Why is everyone talking about Ronaldo? I mean, the players that left early, I thought, were the ones that weren't playing. I didn't think that was so much of a big deal, but Ronaldo was playing. He was actually in the starting lineup. No one else in the starting lineup, as far as I know, left early. Ronaldo was in the starting lineup and he left early. I don't know for certain if anyone else who was subbed off at any point in that game went early. I'm not too sure, but as far as I was concerned, where I was sat, the players that were in the executive box watching the game, they all left early. They were ushered out by United staff. It wasn't on their own accord. It was more of the staff there in security was telling them, right, up we get, it's time to go. Put that aside, he's tried to move past that, and that's why I think you may actually see Cristiano tomorrow. No Martial is a big thing because it's what we've worked with all summer, and there's his first bit of bad luck. It's going to follow him around all season. There's going to be different challenges for him all the time, but Martial not being fit, having worked with him all summer and it looked really good, is where Ten Hag is going to have to work around. Then you've got Ronaldo coming in, who's clearly doesn't want to be here. That's a fact. He's made that very, very clear. He doesn't want to play for Manchester United. The reality is for him that he's had to start knuckling down and training and making the right noises because no one's come in for him yet. There's no one there that will actually pay Ronaldo's wages and take him on. So whether Mendes can make Manchester United terminate his contract and that deal comes around before the end of the transfer window adds to another problem, because we're about to play 5 games before that window shuts with possibly Ronaldo a main part of this team. And then what? If we're not prepared, Ronaldo could easily be gone by the time that August is finished. And we're 5 games in. We've actually started playing with Ronaldo, integrating him into Ten Hag's system, and then he's gone. And then we've got no one else again. This is where the club needed to back Ten Hag. This is the problem, and this is why there's that trepidation, that fear within the fan base that this could be the same old thing again. Rinse and repeat United. Looking ahead to this game, I do feel like we've got a win in this game, only because I do feel like Brighton have lost their best 2 players. Cucurella to Chelsea, Basuma to Tottenham. They pretty much destroyed us in that horrible game in Brighton towards the back end of last season. I just think that there's a chance for United to actually scrape a win. And do you know what? Going start of the season, we spoke about it with Ricky the other day on the preview to the season show, where we said, look, it's about results right now, and Ten Hag is big on that. He knows how he wants to play, but he knows there's improvement that's needed within this team. And it's going to take time. It's not going to come straight away. It's going to take a few months for him to implement everything. And the players, I don't think, will be fully on board with everything until maybe November time, just before the World Cup. So you got to look at that and you got to go, results are key right now. We just have to stay afloat and stay up there. The big game's coming at the start of this season. Starts tomorrow with Brighton. I do feel like our record at home against Brighton is good. And like I said, we're there two of their best players missing from their team. I know they would have recruited again, but Basuma's a big miss. Cucurella obviously had a great season last season for them. He's another miss. And I do believe that United should just have enough for Brighton tomorrow. One thing you're not going to see, and I can say this now, and you can clip it and you can bring it back on me if you want later on in the season. From what I've seen so far with Ten Hag, you are not going to get average, with no disrespect to that, teams running over Manchester United. They will be combative, they will be very competitive, and no one is going to steamroll United of that sort of ilk in terms of mid-table teams like the Watfords, the Brightons. These sort of games I don't think are going to happen this season. We may lose the odd one here and there, but we're not going to get absolutely tonked by teams like this again. The organisation in Ten Hag's system is there to see. I do believe that is where we are going to be better this season. We're going to be more competitive. We're not going to be rolled over. There is bite, there is fight within this team, and I just feel like that's why we're going to win the games like we've got here at Old Trafford against Brighton tomorrow. I think that's where we'll probably get a bit better than what we did last season. I do believe that when the bigger teams come to town, there is a chance that tonking may happen, because we do take risk on the Ten Hag. We do sacrifice defenders being one-on-one for the sake of our attacking setup. I do believe we're going to score more goals this season. We are going to concede our fair share. But all in all, I'm going to say this now, I do think that this season is going to be a lot more exciting than it was last season. I think we're going to play better football. We're not going to be steamrolled, like I said. We're going to be more organised, more structured. The personnel isn't right, we know that. That may come in years, but one thing we have to do is back Ten Hag, and it starts here tomorrow. There are going to be protests, there are going to be a lot of unhappy fans here tomorrow, not happy with how much money's been spent. It should never be a minimum or a maximum that a club should spend. It should be just structured in, but for Ten Hag's first pre-season, we probably would have expected more. The rumours about Frenkie de Jong are not going to help, really not going to help, because we are lacking in that midfield area. And he said it in his press conference, we will only buy the players that suit the system, the right players. We're not just going to go and buy anyone for the sake of it. That's what we've done before, we've done it with many players, and that's why we're in a position now where we cannot sell anyone because they're on stupid wages and they're not good enough. The structure has to be right. Everything needs to be implemented, and everything needs to be right above Ten Hag, as well as what he's doing on the training ground and on the pitch with the players right now. Whether or not we see plenty of that tomorrow, I doubt it. First game, it's going to be edgy, it's going to be nerve-wracking, to be honest, I do think, but I'm going with a 2-1 win for United. I do think United will take Brighton tomorrow, simply because I just think we're just in a better place in terms of organisation. We're in a better place in terms of how Ten Hag has set this team up to deal with the likes of the Brightons of this world. The bigger teams, when they come around, it's going to be a different ball game. I think we will make up a few more points just from games like this, though, this season. That's how I see it. And hopefully by the end of the window, and we've got a few more games to go before that, we will actually have more players in and better players that are going to help Ten Hag and help this system that he's putting in. I just hope we stick to it and we don't revert back to type like we did last season. If the players are mentally strong enough, and Ten Hag is keen on that mental strength training, that, you know what, you may concede a goal, you have to keep playing the same way. You may lose a player, you may go down to 10 men, it may not be going your way with decisions. Play the same way, keep going with this. That's his biggest challenge with this team, because we know mentally they were weak last season. He can make us better with the players that we've got. Not in competitive, in challenging for trophies, we need more than that. But for games like tomorrow, and that's what I'll just judge this one on, we will win tomorrow. It will be a 2-1 win, that's what I'm going with, and get the season off to a winning start. And then through August, up until the end of that transfer window, we just need to keep afloat, keep the victories coming. May not be pretty, may not be ideal, but I do believe that Ten Hag has got enough in this team to get through this first month up to the window, and then you can start moaning about the football club. Because above everything else is nothing to do with Ten Hag. It's down to the club to bring them players in to help him through this season. If they don't, then yeah, you can expect a lot of unrest around Manchester United's fan base. But for this game tomorrow, let's just hope that them players have got that mental strength and they can carry on playing the way that they have done in pre-season, which has been decent, and we can get the result tomorrow. That's it for the first road trip / preview / whatever you want to call this now. It's different, but it's there still every single game. Guys, let me know what you think. Drop your comments in below. Give the video a like, share and subscribe to the United Stand. I will see you all outside here tomorrow, talking about United winning 2-1. Promise you.